plexiglass, welcome to American Journal. We are in Malibu, California, the exclusive community which is home to some of Hollywood's biggest stars. Firestorms returned yesterday, a river of devastation that swept down the canyon to the ocean here. And just to tell you how quickly the situation changes, when we got here, the ridge behind me was engulfed in flames. Now the winds have shifted, and what you're looking at is a blanket of smoke. The sounds you hear are helicopters hovering over the ocean. They are filling enormous buckets of water, which they then drop onto the burning canyon. The roads are closed, so many people are wandering along the beach here, trying to see if their homes are still standing. You know, last week, people here in Malibu watched on TV as their neighbors just a few miles away lost their homes to the blaze. Now it's happening to them. It's a terrible situation, but Malibu residents have nothing but praise for the courageous firefighters who have been battling this blaze day and night, and in particular, the men who have been working from the air.
This is absolutely a war. It's no different than if you were in true combat. The fire is out there to kill you.
For Colonel John Ifland, it's nothing short of warfare as wing commander of the 146th Airlift Unit, fighting the crippling fires in Los Angeles' Malibu Canyon. His decisions mean the difference between life and death, not only for the people on the ground, but also for his brave men in the air.
Each person on this base makes up what I would consider a greater family. It's my expanded family, and I worry about each and every one of them every minute of every hour of every day.
Malibu Canyon, the usually glamorous home to movie stars and million-dollar homes, has instead become a scene of disaster, engulfed in uncontrollable brush fires. As firefighters struggle bravely to keep the blaze from destroying more lives and property on the ground, that's where a whole new breed of firefighter takes over. John and his crew take on the terrifying task of fighting the flames from the air.
Down in some of the canyons, you couldn't see the sun at all. It was like nighttime. It was absolutely nighttime.
It's called MAF's Modular Airborne Firefighting System, a dangerous mission run by this National Guard battalion with military precision.
The crews report at 6 a.m. They'll receive their briefings by the Forest Service and our mission commander at 6:30. At 7 o'clock, I'll convene my battle staff so I can get an update on crew status, aircraft status, other crews coming in from other states, and so forth. Be very careful.
Today started with a quick briefing from the colonel on damage reports and wind conditions. He always ends his speech with a few fatherly words of caution.
So when you get tired, you make errors. When you make errors, you get people hurt. And so I just tell them to be sure that they slow down, they pay attention to the safety rules on the ground. The crews, if they see an unsafe situation, don't fly into it. I am the one that gets to sit back and watch and worry, and that's not a fun thing to do.
From the briefing, it's on to the fires. The tools of war are these C-130 turboprops, the same big cargo planes that flew in Vietnam and Desert Storm. From sunup to sundown, these planes, loaded with a fire retardant material called Phosgene, never stop.
The Phosgene is stored here in powdered form, and when we need to mix it to load it onto the aircraft, we simply take it over to the mixing bin, add water to it, and as the water and powder come together, they form a slick liquid, if you will. It is then directly pumped out of the mixing bins into the aircraft, into the containers that are loaded on board.
Led by a scout plane, these 135,000-pound planes go right into the heat of the fire.
Release right here just before the edge of the hill and drape her right over the top. Okay.
It gets real tense and real quiet and real exciting. You really concentrate on your job, paying attention to the airspeed and the altitude and where the lead plane's going and what your escape route is and what the winds are doing to you. You pay critically close attention to all those pieces, and then you just go do it.
Getting out of the blaze can be as scary as getting in.
When you pickle the Phosgene, it literally dumps 30,000 pounds of liquid in about 10 seconds. So the plane lightens by 30,000 pounds in a very short period of time. But the whole plan is to understand where you're going and what the escape route is before you get into it. So if you do run into the smoke, you know what you're doing and where you're going.
From the heart of the inferno, it's back to the airbase, where the plane is reloaded with more Phosgene and back in the air in an unbelievable 20 minutes. With these raging fires fueled by the wind, these men are the only hope left for Malibu residents Jonathan Zaleski and Michelle Fallon.
I couldn't imagine just flying in blind into something like that. You know, it's dark and the smoke and the wind, the updraft and the heat. It's incredible.
They've got to be amazing. I mean, you've got to be really glad that there's someone willing to do that.
Yesterday alone, these men made 89 runs and dropped over 2 million pounds of chemicals on the fire. But what is impossible to calculate are the lives and homes these brave men have saved as they put their own lives on the line.
If we could go down and save a life where there is no other way to save that life, that would be the ultimate for us, I guess, as a firefighting organization, and be able to effectively do that. Nothing gets better than that, saving human life.
And the chemical that the maps drop on the fire is also a form of fertilizer, so the vegetation that is destroyed by fire will eventually grow back. When they may no